Breaking news coming in from the international arena, specifically from the Middle East at this point of time. US boasts military presence near Iran. US military buildup is in fact being seen near Iran, and it's jolted the leadership. Reports come in that Iran's Khamenei, Ayatollah Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, goes into hiding. Reports have also claimed that Khamenei is hiding in a bunker. Trump has come out to claim US Armada moving closer to Iran. Iran wants Trump over military action. Iran wants Donald Trump of all-out war. Will respond in the harshest way. That was the warning that's been given by the Iranian side to the US's remarks, as well as military action in terms of sending the Naval Armada, which is moving closer and closer to Iran at this point of time as we speak. Several developments coming in from the very country as protests continue and in fact escalate with time in the very region, making it not just conflict prone at this point of time but highly unstable, with all eyes being set on how things proceed there. Of course, the warning that has come in from the United States since the very beginning of these protests unfolding within Iran is that no protester should be harmed. And despite that, we have seen thousands have been killed in this particular protest as a result of the protests, with the regime also responding, cracking down on the protesters. But then there were also executions that had been speculated upon. There were speculations, there were declarations, reports coming in from Iran that there are several executions that have been planned for protesters who are currently in prison. But the US had given a strict warning that any execution of any protester that takes place, military action from the United States shall in fact take place as well. That shall be the response from the United States, with them intervening into the very situation. Now, with situation, while Iranian regime had come out to say that executions are not to take place in any form, at least at this point of time, US still continues to keep its check on the Iranian protests currently, with Khamenei's regime being under threat over the economic distress that the country has been through for quite some time. It initially began as an anti-regime protest, but has only escalated at this point of time. Now, Tehran remains to be the epicenter of these very protests, but more importantly, people are, rather experts are, consistently drawing parallels with the Iranian Revolution of 1979. Of course, that was a different regime which had come to an end with the very revolution taking place and then bringing in Khamenei's rule. But now we see the exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi also coming in and responding, and also at the same time encouraging protesters to continue with their voice, to continue with their action on the ground, and that the world is keeping, also encouraging that the world is keeping a close watch on what is happening in Iran, and that help shall come in whenever needed from the United States or even otherwise. So yes, a lot happening within Iran and a lot of geopolitical developments taking place in association to what's going on in Iran. Sumit Chowdhury joining me on the broadcast with more details at this point of time. Sumit, a very good afternoon to you. Just to understand what the latest developments are, with US saying that, US confirming rather, reports confirming that the Naval Armada is inching closer and closer to Iran at this point of time.
Well, definitely, because from last 24 hours, everyone is looking at the US's biggest military aircraft carrier, that is Abraham Lincoln, and that too reached the Iran southern areas, or you can say the sea area borders, near to the sea borders of Iran. And from last 10 days, we have seen that 47 flights of US military aircraft have been landing in the Middle East, different air bases. So that all indicate that US have been deploying, and US have been massively deploying their military asserts near to the Iran. This may be called a pressure, psychological pressure on the Iran. But one thing is very clear, that this kind of military presence in the Middle East we have seen last year only, when there is a 12 days of conflict between Iran, Israel, and America, and that too after that it has been noticed that Iran have massively developing their ballistic missile, and now the situation has changed again, and the same situation has come again after 6-7 months.
So the situation definitely seems to be escalating at this point of time, Sumit. That's what we are understanding. Thank you for bringing us those details.